Freak Nation, we've been doing this for 25 years, and damn near every one of those 25 years, this guy's been coming in, Tony Schumacher. I run out of fingers when I count Top Fuel championships with this guy. Race wins, screw that, man. Tony Schumacher back in the Freak Nation, returning to defend his title at World Wide Technology Raceway this weekend. And Tony, I got to imagine one of the most difficult things about a drag racer or any racer is hanging it up. And a guy like yourself that can still drive a freaking race car, not being able to run the full season, how does that dig at you as a dude that likes to compete?
Yeah, this was a tough year, man, because, my sponsor kind of jumped in early. He wasn't all in at the time. He said, here's some money, do, half the season or whatever. And we took a little time. We were trying to find not only the parts and pieces, the cars, the rigs, but a crew chief. And it took us a while to get Rob Flynn. And when we did that, just sitting around was going nuts. Although I didn't sit around. So my wife was like, you know what, we're going on vacation because 30 years I've been doing this. Y'all been doing it a long, long time. And for 30 years, I haven't been able to do very much just because the seasons are so long. So we spent some time. We got trained. We got ripped. We worked out a lot. And then when the season started, we came out with all the right stuff, the right part. We still need more parts. When you're building a team from zero parts, it takes a little time, but great guys. I got great crew chief, great assistant crew chief, and all the people that are coming over to work with our car, man. They're all. I have some young 18-year-olds, and I have a bunch of veterans that have been doing this forever. They've been crew chiefs, so they're teaching. We have the right people teaching these young kids, and at the end of the day, we're spending this couple of race series here, this last 7. Getting ready for next year, but also trying to win Clay a championship.
Freak Nation, his name is Tony Schumacher, joining us here in the Freak Nation. And Tony, again, back when you started your career, your professional career, running in Top Fuel, compared to where you are now, I don't care if you're Kyle Larson, if you're Tony Stewart, or if you're Tony Schumacher, the importance of gaining and maintaining sponsorship is off the charts. And I know, at least outwardly, you handle pressure well. What about the pressure of trying to secure sponsorship to go racing?
Well, that's the hardest part of the job. Been fortunate to have Exide Batteries, the United States Army for 19 years. And then after that, put the SCAG program out here. And I don't care who says what. We brought SCAG to the table, and had a long contract with them. And it went away. And I wasn't in that meeting, so it's one of those things where very frustrating because I had spent so long putting it together and bringing them out here. But now, finding another one, you start to trust yourself that, give it time. It may take a year, but what we do is right. What we say is right. What we show is right. The numbers add up, and people keep coming. So I feel very blessed. I'm looking forward to working with Rick Weir, and I'm loving Clay Milliken. Let's face it, Clay's everyone's here. He's the kind of guy that even when I'm racing him, I'm pulling for him. I don't know what the heck he does. It just makes you want him to win. He's just a nice guy with good intent, and he smiles and he's pleasant to be around. So I'm looking forward to getting to know him over the next couple of years. And we have a long opportunity now to work together.
What is the dynamic like between you and Clay Milliken? Because you are a very intense competitor. I'm sure Clay is as well, but he doesn't come off as being as such. So what is the dynamic between you two, and how can you each help each other?
I'll tell you what, we have already had meetings where we've sat down and said, you know what, here's a great example. What are you looking at when you're staging in 4-wide? And he goes, here's what I look at. Here's what I do. And I said, well, here's what I do to go a little smoother. And we talk like there's nothing we need to hold back. We both, between the two of us, won hundreds of races in both IHRA and NHRA, won all the championships on both sides. I love the fact that we can sit back, be honest, teach each other, and listen, and we seem to be sharing everything. So crew chiefs are working together. We're using the same parts. We'll start to adjust and see which works better and which doesn't, and we'll go out and try to win a championship. Whether it's him or me or both, kicking each other's butt. We're going to go out and do it the best we can with the right people, and just a class act. Like he's got. I won 8 championships in NHRA. I always joke about it. I've won Indy 10 times. I drive under the John Force Grandstand. Clay Millican has a road named after him. I live in Texas. I don't got anything. You know, I mean, Torrance has a whole city named after him. He's got a key to the city and stuff. I keep going there, and I got a sign on my head that says I've done things too, but man, they just don't seem to give me. I don't understand.
Oh my God.
Maybe you guys can help me out here.
But you got a brother over there in Germany, Michael Schumacher, that's done. Oh, I'm sorry, wrong Schumacher. Yeah.
You don't need to send me a Christmas card, man.
Oh, the nerve.
And, you know, and his friend's name Tony Schumacher. He was the goalie in soccer.
There it is. It's all
He
wrapped
could be the
up.
most popular Tony Schumacher.
Well, what do you want? What do you want? A city? Do you want a street? Is there something at the season ending at Pomona that we should dedicate to you? Because you're right. Your name in the record books is everywhere. So what would Tony Schumacher, what do you think you should deserve? What do you think you want?
You know, they put me in the Hall of Fame this year, and that was insanely cool because my dad's been there. So to be able to join him, that was it. That's all I ever need. I mean, obviously that's a goal every driver in the world hopes to get to. If you could ask me 30 years ago if I was going to be there, I'd said, heck no, I don't think I'll ever win a race. Just the way it is, you know, and all of a sudden you find yourself battling on and, you know, getting older and they're putting you in the Hall of Fame, the Motorsports Hall of Fame, and you get to share space and share names that are incredible. Mario Andretti, I mean, you can never see Fittipaldi and they're Don Schumacher. And so to put yourself that's what I need. That's it. I don't need a grandstand. I don't need my name. I don't need a tower named after me. None of that stuff matters. I would like an 89th win this weekend. That'd be pretty cool.
Ooh. All right. It's coming. But hold on a second. You just said something, Tony Schumacher, that does not align with the person that I thought you were. You said 30 years ago, if you would have asked if you would have even won a race in NHRA, you would say no. Dude, your mindset is not that. You've never had a stinking thinking comment in your head. You are a positive thinker. I believe you knew something would happen if you continued to work hard, which you knew you could.
Yeah, I was definitely, I'm an all-in kind of guy, but we were just starting, you know, and we were qualifying at some of the races, and we didn't have parts and pieces. We didn't have what we needed, and I was new. I was very thankful to be there, but I was new, and it sure was mind-boggling, out of this world to think we're going to go out and win a bunch of championships in the amount of wins. You know, were we going to have some success? Our first race, we went to the finals. But we did it having a single first round. I mean, losing Blaine Johnson allowed us to go on to the final round. We weren't kidding ourselves thinking we were kicking everyone's butt. We knew how we got there. So looking back, you know, I definitely was naive. I definitely was cocky as all get out. I think I said that the last time we were talking. I said, you know, the kid back then was a cocky little shit that people wanted to kick, you know. I mean, I get it. And I was loving it. And I challenge you this. You go find a pro hockey player, pro football player, ask them what they were like when they were young. We're all the same, dude. We all got here for a reason. It was a lot of energy. It was a lot of work. It was a lot of talking our way into something without knowing what the heck we were talking ourselves into. You know, Selzy said it best. He goes, I spent 10 years trying to get into this car, Top Fuel. He goes, the first time they started it, I spent the next 10 minutes trying to figure out how to get out of it. That's the truth. And they're freaking terrifying. But you don't know it till you get in. I mean, I remember sitting there the first time when that thing was running, thinking to myself, all right, I really talked myself into this. And here we are, and it's running. And that throttle pedal on the right side is going to make a lot of noise when I touch it. But how do you know what it's going to do? You know it's going to be loud because you've heard it. You don't know what it's going to feel like. And I remember hitting the gas the first time and getting out at the other end going, what the hell? Like, you're just in shock. You're absolutely over the top in shock.
I don't think, and correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think many people realize that there are more men and women who have gone to the moon than there are that have sat in a Top Fuel dragster. Is that still correct?
I don't know how many people have been to the moon, but there ain't that many dragster drivers. I mean,
We've got
it's a very small number.
Up in space.
Up in space.
Yes.
Okay. That's
Yeah,
probably what it is. That's probably what it is. Yeah, whatever. But it's still, it's shocking. It's you guys, as much as we've heard you try to explain it, you know that you can't explain it as it really is because that is such an incredibly unique sensation that you guys go through.
It is for sure. But I think the one super amazing part about drag racing it's the one sport where you really feel like you're in the car. When we hit the gas, it just regurgitates. It's just insane. You know, the power flows through the stands. People 7 miles away say, dude, we hear that car idling. There's nothing else like this. And, you know, when fans come out and buy tickets, I've had so many people come up to me and go, dude, I feel like we owe more money. Like, that was insane. Like, my kids smiled, you know, they'd never heard one of these things before. Then they got to come over and meet you. And, you know, those are the little things that make it worthwhile. We are athletes, but we are entertainers. At the end of the day, you, me, we're all entertaining. We're filling a void, right? We're filling some time where people pay money to come watch us and put a smile on their face. Some want to love us and some want to hate us. Doesn't really matter. They're both necessary, but we're entertaining. So, kids, if you've never been out there, you go to mom and dad right now and say, I'm putting my phone down. I want to see a drag race. Put that phone down. Or, you bring the phone with because you're going to need a video. Don't look at it. Come out, watch the Top Fuel car go down the racetrack.
Tony Schumacher, the winningest Top Fuel driver ever, has more Top Fuel titles than anybody and doesn't have a freaking street named after the bastard.
No street. Not even street.
Hey, it was me last time you're in here when I said, Tony, when you came into the NHRA and started winning races, you were an asshole. And you admitted it. Yes, I was an asshole. But sometimes people mistake hold'em, or some people mistake confidence in hold'em. Do you think some of that confidence, some of that ego, some of that hold'em that you had at the time has hurt you in your career later on in life?
I think I've gotten so much more calm, you know, and so much more business-like. I was around my dad too much. You know, you learn how to do business, whether you want to or not. It spills off. I think so. You know, it bothers me when I hear, oh, Tony lost a sponsor or lost this, because it was a series of events that happened. I didn't lose anything. I mean, Randy Glady from SCAC, he just wanted to own a race team. It had nothing to do with you're gone, you're fired. He wanted to own the team, and Joe wasn't going to sell me. And, you know, Kathy at the time was a fan. That's what brought us together. So I think it was a bunch of things that looked a little weird. I don't think me being a negative person or anything like that affected any of that stuff. Actually, I know it for a fact because it just kept gaining and getting new stuff. But when I was young, I lived in a beautiful house. We had housekeepers. I grew up in a different way that most people don't have a chance to. I had to take a little time to get to reality. Once you have your own house and you realize they don't come with housekeepers, you got to actually do the work. You just learn, you know. You learn to be a cooler person and a little more real and down to earth.
One of our very first interviews with, and we're talking over 20 years ago, with your teammate Clay Millican, we talked about house duties. And I will never forget him saying something that his wife really nagged him on. He was horrible at taking out the trash. What is one of the Tony Schumacher duties that you're just constantly needing to remind yourself of, or that you get nagged at the most?
Picking weeds. I will not do it. I can't stand it. I always step in the fire ants. We're in Texas. Always step in them. You don't see them, then they're all over you. So I won't pick weeds. I'm like, I don't want to pick weeds. I'll take the garbage out. I'll carry stuff up. I'll use a pickup truck, move furniture. I'll help neighbors move. I don't care. I don't want to pick weeds. And those little freaking trees that will grow up, you know, they just start growing. You got to pick them all the damn time. I won't do it. I hate it. It makes me crazy. I'm like, you know what? I will pay for someone to come do this, but I will not get down and get chewed up by fire ants. And my wife loves doing it. She goes, just come out here and it's like soothing. It's soothing. I'm like, it's not soothing. I'm getting eaten by fire ants. It's a pain in the butt, you know? Anyway, you got me on
Tony, you found your next sponsor. You just need to make some phone calls. Roundup or something in that vein.
Yeah, I have Roundup at home. I use it. That's fine.
Well, there you
but
go.
picking those little trees, I gotta have some of those. What are they? Oak trees, man? They just start growing, you know. And all of a sudden, there's 300 of them, and you can't. It's not like they grow one. And you're like, I got that one. Two.
No, they don't.
It's like 300. You get up in the morning, come back from. We've been gone. We went to Reading, wherever we were last, Charlotte, St. Louis. We get home, I would do forests in the backyard. Forest. I won't have to pick weeds. I'll have to cut with a chainsaw.
Yeah. It is. You're just rattling off all kinds of sponsors there.
I know you got. Yeah, there's your next sponsorship for next year.
Steel chainsaw, of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Hey, we're big fans of World Wide Technology Raceway, not just because they're a partner, just because they're the little track that could, where they've earned their way into the playoffs with NASCAR. Drifting is one of the most exciting events there at the track. The NHRA continues to kick its ass. As a driver, when you roll into World Wide Technology Raceway, say what you will, but there's a feeling about that track that I think is different than any track that you guys roll into.
Yeah, and NASCAR runs there. IndyCar, everything runs there. My wife said it best. We pulled in yesterday about 4 o'clock, and we drove. We stopped in Nashville on the way. She got in there. She goes, "This track's just impressive." Mm-hmm. It just is a beautiful track. The whole facility's nice, right off the road. You can see it when you pull up. It's kind of like when you first pull up to the Dallas racetrack, right? When you come pulling into that thing, it goes, "Wow, that looks cool." So does this, and they did a great job. We appreciate it as drivers, the whole layout on how nice it is, and we seem to have beautiful conditions for this weekend. I mean, today, tomorrow, Sunday, one of these. This is going to be the rocket. Friday night we run at night. Saturday we have 70s to 80s. Mm-hmm. Sundays, similar conditions. This is going to be a race when the fans leave. They're going to say, "We won." The fans won because they're going to see tight racing and kick-ass facilities.
Love it.
Attaboy. Well, man, it's always fantastic when you join us here in the Freak Nation. We wouldn't hate to jam a mic in front of your face Sunday afternoon after you win, buddy.
I hope you do.
All right.